I just want to talk to you, alright? For once, you're going to listen to me and shut your fucking mouth. I want to talk to you about brainwashing. The reason I want to talk to you about brainwashing is because it is a tool, and like all tools, hammers, Eddie Maguire, all of them are either good or bad depending on what you use them for. I think that you need to understand this about brainwashing. You are brainwashed. So am I. So is, even would you believe, Sophie Monk. Oh yeah, darling, I can't get off this stuff, eh? She can if she wanted to, says somebody who still sometimes smokes. Anyway, the reason that I want to talk to you about brainwashing and why it's either good or bad is because it doesn't matter what you do in life. You are going to be brainwashed by something. The way that you see the world is not as it is. I was actually just talking to this with the Batchman, Isaac Butterfield, on his podcast. And we were discussing the fact that, as something that I just, can't get my head around, because it's impossible, and that's why it scares me, is that your perception of life is completely sculpted by the people that you hang around and the information that you've been exposed to. That's it. You're just absorbing all of that and then you think, oh, that's reality now. Well, has it ever occurred to you that maybe, just maybe, your mum's a dumbass? Probably 50% of the audience are going, yep, and the other 50%, what? Not Mildred? But what happens as a result of that is you are brainwashed by that culture. Everybody is. So the fact that we see, for instance, Americans as these universal cops that protect the world, well, you look at the evidence, that's the furthest thing from reality. Similarly, why does everyone hate China at the moment? Well, it's because it's America's biggest rival. If we were alive in the 80s and the 70s, it would just be brainwashed to hate the Soviet Union and everyone in it. Just being like, no come, dude. Most of them are just sitting around drinking vodka. You want them to be nukes and be like, that. Well, I guess it'd be kind of humorous. All those little teeny shot glasses flying out to the Ukraine. But I think that as a result of knowing that, you are now responsible for brainwashing yourself to success. And that's all self-help is. Self-help is you brainwashing yourself to success. So that even though your circumstances aren't where you want them to be, you have conditioned yourself to know I'm going to make them that way. And as soon as you are in that mindset of I'm not there now, but I'm going to be there, you start moving there. And I will go further. I will say that you will accomplish that goal if you do it. If you do it, you will get to the place that you have envisioned in your mind. The problem is most people, because they are brainwashed by the conditions that they're in, just keep manifesting. Oh, there it is, that secret word for you. There's going to be more of them. That keeps just getting manifested over and over again. So you keep producing the same results. This is why most people flatline in income. I understand that on a national level, right, that wages stagnate and there's nothing anyone can do about that. But on a personal level, the reason that your wages are stagnating is because you're not getting better. And the reason you're not getting better is because you have accepted the reality that you are currently in. That's all that brainwashing means, I think. Now, it is easy to get out of it if you start to convince yourself. In fact, it was the most effective tool of the Viet Cong for turning prisoners against them, where they would get Americans to say entire statements about why they denounce the US government and what they're doing in Vietnam by getting them to sit there and with them and then they just hand them a cigarette. They were being really kind to them. This is the thing, right? Like, this is the way that you get someone to see your perspective. You catch more flies with vinegar than salt. Fuck! That's not even the expression! And it's like the complete wrong. Okay, so that was in reverse, and that wasn't even the right words. You fill in the blanks, and somebody will in the comments, and it'll get about 8 likes. What's the bet? Look, he was sitting there, and then like some Viet Cong dude would come in, offer him a cigarette, and then say, "Why are you trying to attack us?" And then they'd just be like, "'Cause you're a bunch of commies." Then they'd sit there and they'd say, "Well, all right, I just want you to write this on a piece of paper. Just this. Anything that you agree with, just write this down. So you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. You don't have to write it down. That's the game. All right? Let's just go through this. Do you think that America's perfect?" That's always how they started. Obviously, they're going to go, "Well, it's not perfect, but it's awesome." And then you say, "Okay, do you think that our system that we're setting up where everybody has a job is better than your system where it's dog eat dog and some people get really high rewards and other people don't get jobs?" And they'd be like, "I like jobs." And so they'd write that down. By the end of it, they'd have an entire statement that they'd read out over the radio, and then they'd say, this prisoner said this, and then everyone would be like, why did you say that, man? And then they'd say, because it's true. Their perception has shifted. Why has it shifted? Because they were brainwashed. There's all these ways to do it, but the best brainwashing is subtle. The best brainwashing makes you realize that, like, it doesn't encroach into your mind. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do with these videos, is brainwash you into success. And I think that what you should be doing to help that right along is be doing what that US prisoner did. You should be doing that to your own goals. So you obviously have your goals right. Right? You don't, do you? In fact, I was just talking to Isaac then, and he said that his dad was, burdening him his whole life with it, and he was still just like, nah, just they're in my head. I understand that that is your inclination to do that. You don't listen to Isaac on this one, right? The evidence is overwhelming. You have to write them. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I miss days when I do it, but I try and write down my goals daily. And the reason that I'm doing it is because that's just a form of brainwashing in yourself. But then I want you to take the extra step. I want you to write down all of the things that you are going to get from having that goal. Just like when you used to go to your parents, Mum, can I get the Batman? He changed my life. He could fly around. You wouldn't need to have another kid to keep me company. This is a very single child wound. But you just write that down, and then you write down why all of the reasons that you want it are and what you're going to benefit from it. I just want you to write in a paragraph about how your life is going to improve and why. And also, why you want it. Just write 2 paragraphs, in fact. On your first 3 big goals, the big goals that you have for the next 10 years. You have those, right? You have your goals for the year, and you have your goals for the next decade. And the reason that you have that is because, as Tony Robbins always says, most people greatly overestimate what they can do in a year and greatly underestimate what they can do in 10. True words have never been spoken, apart from maybe this. Milk is good for you. I've just been thinking about that more and more. You know what that is now? That is just a meme for boomers. Milk gives you vitamins. Nobody our age thinks that anymore. And if you do, fight me on it. Because actually I don't really care about that argument at all. And if you're really passionate about it, maybe there is just a jug of milk sitting at home being like, no, here's why I need to drink and be killed by you. So if you're a jug of milk, start the fight with me. Come on, you little calcium-filled cunt. I'll take you. I'm gonna eat you with my fucking Cocoa Pops for breakfast, mate. Right? That's your homework for today. I just want you to start brainwashing yourself. I want you to start brainwashing yourself into these goals, of the fact that you are going to achieve them. The fact that you have that in your mind as the default, as opposed to, oh, I'm poor, nothing's happening, fuck my life. Or as the kids say, FML. All of that goes out the window. It moves with the trajectory of your mind. And once you have that, you will start, as I've always said, automatically moving towards it. You have to get the ball rolling. So do it now. Do it now. All right, so I'll see you soon. Sorry that I took a bit of a break. What are you fucking... This shit's for free anyway. I don't want to hear any guff from you.